Well, guys, first and foremost, me speaking over the last 6 years has been my dream come true because I didn't know that it was a real profession. I didn't know that people get paid to speak. I thought it was something that people just did because they're passionate about whatever the topic is. I had already done like the ESPN E60 documentary right after I lost my mom. People would ask me to speak. People saw me on TV and they would ask me to speak. And then finally, because I kept saying no at first, I was focusing on baseball. I'm not speaking. And then in 2016, there was an organization in Florida. And in the audience for this event was NFL moms, NBA moms, MLB moms. What I would have to do is I would have to speak for 20 minutes or 15 minutes before I get the award. And at first I was like, I'm not doing that, but you know what? This is an event that I figured my mom would be at, so I'll come speak to it. I came to share there. It was my first time in front of like 500 people. And I was nervous as all get out. Like what does Eminem say? Knees weak, palms are sweaty. That was me, right? Mom spaghetti, right? That was me. I was nervous as I don't know what. I shared and it was phenomenal, man. The greatest thing was it was so bright, Dr. Troy, I couldn't see anybody in the audience. So my nerves went away. I was like, yes. I got off stage and the lady was like, Chris, I know you're playing baseball, but you got to keep doing this. You got to keep speaking, got to keep sharing your story. After that day, I said, I'm going to do that. 2017 comes around. I get drafted by the Cubs. That fall, I started to get booked. My first engagement that was paid was a church it was called Harborside Church in Florida. They hit me up. They said, Chris, we want you to speak. What's your fee? I said, I don't have a fee. Whatever you guys have would be amazing. They said, Chris, we can give you $1,500 to come down here to Florida. I thought I'm gonna be the richest man in the world if somebody's paying me $1,500 every time I speak. My first paid engagement, and this is crazy because I literally branded myself as a speaker. I mean, I had my own website. It was called thechrisSingleton.com. And people give me crap because it said The Chris Singleton, like I thought I was a big deal or something. But the real reason is because ChrisSingleton.com costs like $5,000. I was like, man, I don't got it like that, man. $5,000 for a website, no. So The Chris Singleton was like $10. So I bought that one, paid a guy $1,500 to make my website. $1,500, which I thought was a lot of money. I'm like, man, I could just make it myself. But I was like, got to make the investment. $1,500 there. I started posting like tweets. I would have a notification on my phone every single day that says 8 p.m. post your thought of the day. 8 p.m. post your thought of the day. So I'll post every single day. I changed all my social media platforms to say inspirational speaker. Even though I had never got a real gig before, I got like one engagement, but I switched all of my stuff to say inspirational speaker. And I would write down my talk word for word, literally word for word. And I didn't even know how to write a speech back then. Now I kind of follow a formula, which I'll get into in a second. But back then, I literally would just tell my story, try to make it emotional, try to make people captivated. The next year, 2018, what I did was I messaged every single person. Actually, it was that fall, 2017, I messaged every single person in my contacts. And I said, hey, this is what I'm doing this off season. I would love to be able to speak at your school, at your youth group, to your company. And they would ask, what do you speak about? I speak about overcoming adversity and unity. That's what I would say. Overcoming adversity and unity. I sent it to everybody in my contact. I said, hey, this is what I'm doing now. And I got like some local nonprofit stuff for like $500 here, $100 there, $1,000 here from just me actively reaching out. But even though I'd been on TV, nobody was reaching out to me yet. Nobody was reaching out to me. And I remember I had this grand plan. I said, God, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to reach out to 100 schools, and it's 100 private schools. I made a list of 100 private schools, got the emails for the principal, the assistant principal, and the athletic directors. Reach out to 100 private schools, CC the assistant principal and the athletic director, and I think only 2 schools hit me back. I was devastated, man, because in my mind I thought, okay, I'm gonna reach out to 100 schools. I'm gonna get like 25 of them to hit me back, say, let's go, Chris, let's do it. I was already doing the math, 25 times 1,500 or 2,000, like I'll be good to go. In 2017, 2 of them hit me back. Only 1 of them actually booked. And so I got 1 engagement from that. But then I prayed. I said, God, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I feel like you gave me this story. I feel like I've been moved by this guy named Inky Johnson. I want to be like this guy. If this is what I'm supposed to do, you gotta open up the doors, because it's not happening the way I thought it was gonna happen. I thought I was gonna reach out to these schools. I was gonna get booked. And then I finally said, let me just speak everywhere that I can and not even worry about fees and stuff. I told myself I'm gonna speak to every single Rotary Club in Charleston. I'll speak to every single Exchange Club. I'm gonna speak at my old high school. I'm gonna speak at Stratford High School. I'm gonna speak at all these different high schools. And if they tell me to do it for free, I'll do it for free. If they give me money, I'll do it for money. I did a tour of I probably did like 30 or so free gigs within the fall of 2017 and early 2018. That momentum kind of shot me through the roof. And I would always tell them, I would say, hey, I'm doing my home appreciation tour. This is kind of how I marketed it back then. I said, I'm doing my home appreciation tour. And what I do is I'll do 10 engagements for half off. Back then I said my fee was like $2,500 or something like that. I said I'll do them for half off. And some of them said, hey, Chris, okay, awesome, we'll do it for $1,250. Some of them said, hey, we don't have any money. I was doing it anyway. And what I would do is after I got the engagement, I would follow up with them and say, hey, if you think this is good, can you refer me out to another school? And every time that I would speak, I would post pictures of me speaking and say, I got this from Inky Johnson. They would say, it was an honor serving Boys and Girls Club of Charles. It was an honor serving Low Country Food Bank. And I would say, then I would post my website in that same, I still do this on my social media now, post my website in that same block. In that same tweet, then I started to get some booking forms because people were thinking, man, Chris is out and about, man. He's getting out there speaking. Like, we've got an event coming up.